Here, nestled in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountain Range, Ohio University's School of Communication Studies doctoral program inspires and prepares our students to become dedicated teachers, engaged scholars, and active citizens. Ohio University is a special place, and we invite you to learn more about how our doctoral program in communication can be part of your story.
I think it's like a home, right? I think me traveling here from South Africa with my whole family and coming to comms and not having an academic background and just joining the PhD program, I think it's been really welcoming. I think the faculty are awesome. I think that the program is really good. It is a home. I mean, we're here for 4 years, so we have to make it home. But I think the environment, the faculty, the whole Athens is quite warm. So I think it's a really good place.
As a student, I had the opportunity to learn from great professors, mentors who were really interested in my sources. They really provided me the opportunity to learn from diverse groups of people, explore my career options, and to give me the skills that I need to succeed in my career.
OU has been a central part of my story because it helped me grow as a person and scholar. The School of Communication Studies has great faculty members who have not only intellectual capacities but also human qualities.
I think there are a lot of things that we do to help prepare our students to be successful. We have rigorous classes in our areas of expertise, and that's all laid out in the program of study and all of our materials and easy to see. But I think what really we do to make our students successful are the things that go beyond that. We go the extra mile.
I think both the education in the classroom and the education in the classroom as a teacher prepare our students uniquely for what lies beyond Ohio University. In the classroom as a student, we have a great program in that it provides students with a really strong core foundation of courses. That core foundation is something that every student and scholar of communication studies needs to have. Beyond that, then we offer areas of specialization where students can develop some expertise in a particular area, either in rhetoric and culture, where I teach, or interpersonal and organizational communication, which is a unique offering within our School of Communication Studies, or in health communication, which these days is a burgeoning area of interest.
My classes sort of deal with culture and race, and differently abled communities. I have taught some qualitative classes. I did do that. I prefer qualitative approach for the most part. My long time work in the National Federation of the Blind, both at the national level and the state level, has been an intricate part of some of my teaching as well. What I like about teaching those classes is being able to bring people from the community in to guest lecture. Because my approach, even at the graduate level, is with a differently abled class, you need to meet people from the community. It's one thing to read about them and see them on video, but I like to take field trips, and I like for them to meet somebody from the deaf community, like a real person, and hear their narrative.
One of the reasons I enjoy teaching and learning and working at Ohio University is that I get to pursue my passion in public memory studies. In particular, I'm very interested in how spaces of public memory are understood, navigated, interpreted, and argued over in public discussions. I have the opportunity to do that in my courses at the doctoral level by focusing on particular issues of public memory. For example, I recently taught a course where students in the class traveled with me on a field trip in a doctoral seminar to the National Mall in Washington, D.C. Each student selected a site at the National Mall for research and spent 24 hours there learning, doing, observing, and wondering how this place of public memory works as part of the National Mall experience, as well as a unique institution and site of public memory.
So I have taught public speaking, both online and in person. I have taught interpersonal communication, cross-cultural communication. I've taught communication theory, and I have taught small group communication. And both of interpersonal, I've taught, I guess, both online and in person as well. And then currently I am assisting with a large lecture course. So it's been a large gamut, and the faculty have been really great in allowing me to both create the courses as well as provide me guidance with their own expertise in how they have run it in past, what's worked and what's not worked. So I never feel alone as a teacher, but I always feel like I have my own agency in the classroom, and that's been really beneficial to me.
So I've taught, of course, the basic course, which is public speaking, but I've also been able to teach communication amongst cultures, which is great because it entirely overlaps with and dovetails with my interests. I've also had the opportunity to teach argumentation and advocacy, which I think, just like when I saw the syllabus, I was like, oh, I'm not a forensics person, so I don't know if I can teach this. I've never debated in my entire life. But the course is designed in a way where you can make it your own. And I told my class going into it, I cannot teach you debate because I'm not equipped to do that, and there are better people to teach you that. But I can tell you maybe how to make a critical argument, borrowing from my background. So the students were really receptive to that because I think they get training in forensics from other sources, so they don't really lack that either. So I've taught courses like that, which are way beyond my comfort zone, but I've tried to make them my own.
At OU, there is a sense that you don't just study the world from a library and reading until your eyes glaze over, that you actually have to go and see it. I remember when I first showed up to OU, and the person who would later become my advisor had just come back from Australia where he attended a conference. And I just remember thinking, wow, you can attend a conference in Australia as part of your scholarly work. I want to do that. Well, my interests initially were a little bit less ambitious. I was interested in Route 66, the famous US highway that runs from Chicago to LA. And I mentioned to a professor, yeah, I think I want to do some research on Route 66, postcards and song lyrics and things like that. And she said, yeah, that's cool, but you're going to hit the road, aren't you? And I thought, yeah, I guess I better. It's a simple thing, but OU imbued in me the appreciation for field work, for leaving campus and seeing things for myself. And well, that's what I've been doing since then. I teach at San Jose State University, and I've done that, well, for about 22 years. And that OU story of seeing the world is part of what I do. I've spent some time in Belarus. Actually, I lived there for a while as part of a Fulbright. Went to Turkmenistan, where I slept by the famous gateway to hell, a firing pit in the middle of a desert. I've spent some time in North Korea. All of these experiences were, well, from that OU sensibility. Again, you want to see the world, you don't just want to talk about it. That's my story, and well, I hope it'll be part of your story too.
In terms of the med school, it was just a call that came out one day, and I wasn't going to apply for it because I would not consider myself super scientific in the traditional sense, and it was very much, we're going to do statistical work. And a faculty member was like, you should apply for it, just see what happens. And I took it, and the med school was really open to it. And they're like, well, we're gonna do this from a very statistical side, but we would also like your own input. So they allowed me to add a qualitative aspect to the project. And I did interviews with doctors all around the country about their uncertainty, talking to patients and referring patients out. And it ultimately ended up to me building connections and being able to do my dissertation in the med school. So I have a lot of respect for the med school and their willingness to work with me and embrace the communication side of health.
One of the programs that I direct is the Barbara Gerald's Institute for Storytelling and Social Impact. One of our key partners for the Institute is the Heritage College of Osteopathic Medicine. In and through the Institute and our partnerships, we're able to explore the rich ways that people use narrative to make sense of life disruptions, in the sense of trauma or suffering or life-changing diagnoses. We do that in partnership with organizations like the Cleveland Clinic and MD Anderson Cancer Center. Our students are a part of those projects from stem to stern. So whether we're in the field shooting documentary fieldwork, or we're doing publications, we're collecting data through in-depth interviews or ethnographic fieldwork, our students are a part of that process, and they really get to envision what it means to have theory be answerable to life and to contribute to the well-being of constituents at the same time as stretching our disciplinary knowledge.
Because of the region that we're in, Athens is in the Appalachian area of southeast Ohio, and so it's a pretty interesting region with a rich cultural history and also a lot of different ways in which people can get involved. So I've been involved in a lot of community-based work, including leadership development training for leaders of nonprofit organizations, work on racial equity with a coalition of folks, working with the schools to help use my expertise as a communication scholar who specializes in groups and problem solving and deliberation and dialogue to help the school district plan for how to address changes. And so these are all ways that I have gotten involved in our community, and I often am bringing graduate students in. So for example, right now I'm working on a project where I'm coordinating a class at the high school, like a sort of extra credit class on race and anti-racism, and I'm working with a bunch of different folks in the community and bringing students from Ohio University in to help participate as mentors for that class, and then also potentially move this to like a research project. I think a lot of our students have also gotten involved in nonprofit organizations to do their dissertation projects.
I just think that there's a lot that anybody with any interest could do here in Athens because there's such a diverse community and a diverse pool of people. And I think it's a great place to learn with and learn from the community, which to me is an indispensable part of becoming a socially responsible researcher, is being open and being available and being willing to learn with and learn from the community around you. And Athens is an amazing place to do that.
One thing I was just thinking about, because of where we're located right now, is one of my favorite events of the spring is the International Fair and International Week. And so this area will be lined with flags representing the countries of all the different students who are at Ohio University. And there are cultural events and like a big parade and lots of music and food, and people are just celebrating their own culture and knowledge of other cultures, and that is just one example.
The makeup of the town itself and the surrounding community, there's a nice balance. You know, you have such a wide variety of people and diverse interests, but the one unifying thing that I think more than anything keeps me here and is going to cause me to miss it greatly when I do leave is just this feeling of community.
A lot of my friends will say, I'm thinking about going to graduate school, what do you think? And the fact that OU has shaped what that experience has been for me has encouraged me to be like, yeah, you should absolutely do it because graduate school is incredible. And the reason I think that is because of what COMS has done.
That's what I like about OU and the program here, that nobody leaves here like a robot. And I never thought about that before. We don't have like, oh yeah, that's an OU person. No, we have managed somehow to turn out people who can maintain their individuality even going through the program. And we've been able to maintain it with our faculty. And I love our ability to both allow our individuality and our collectivity to coexist. That's pretty unique, I think.
I came here with my family, as I said, so my husband is also studying. And the other day we were talking about how we would not trade what we're doing for anything. It's been rough with COVID, the pandemic and everything, and having the children having to do school online. But I think the support that we have from our faculty, the support that we have from the community here in Athens has just been really, really great. And so I wouldn't trade this for anything. So anyone who's looking to come to OU to come and study, obviously the pandemic will not last forever, so we'll get to mingle and meet everyone. I think it's a great and awesome opportunity that they should grab with both hands to come.
Dedicated teachers, engaged scholars, active citizens. For more information about the Ohio University School of Communication Studies doctoral program, visit our website, follow us on social media, and set up conversations with our faculty. Discover how Ohio University can be part of your story.